Look at him just sitting there, menacingly. You can't even see his eyes, but I can tell he's staring right into my soul. Did I will someone into existence to like kill his cronies or what? Like I don't. Is this me in the hospital room now? Am I dead? Is Shogun here to be like, well, I mean, I did it. Now restart the game. The pale evening sun shone through the window of a hospital room. The light, singed red by the twilight, divided the room into two distinct parts, one captivated by light and one dominated by darkness. And what was illuminated by that light was a bed adorned with pure white sheets. On the bedside table sat a handheld video game console. Does it? I don't see that. I just see flowers and books. A number of academic books lined a nearby shelf, neighbored by a muted pink petals of an arrangement of cosmos flowers resting in a vase. The room was neat and tidy. Nothing moved, nothing stirred. It was a space where time seemed to have come to a stop. The window cut into the evening sky, and by that window was a small figure, sitting in a wheelchair. Look at him. Look at him. The figure's back to the window. He remained still and motionless. His breathing was so light, and the intervals between each breath were so long, one might think he was already dead. He looks like it. I mean, he looks basically so old that he's like a corpse. His skin was covered with wrinkles, his cheeks were hollow, his eye sockets were sunken in, his scalp was barren. With these features, it was often questioned whether he should be referred to as a young boy or an old man. I can't tell anymore. His shadow, which he had dubbed Shogun, extended all the way to the door of the room. Oh God. The world then moved for the first time. The door slowly opened, and a figure emerged from the darkened corridor, stepping foot into the room steeped in an evening glow. Hello? What? Hey, look, we found her. Remy, what are you doing? Oh my God, I want death. Sakihata Remy did not fully enter the hospital room, instead choosing to remain at the entrance. Her expression, illuminated by the setting sun, detailed how the girl had been in deep in thought. Oh, God. Oh, great. That's what we were thinking, too. Shogun remained motionless in response to her words. What? I'm not dangerous at all. I'm very not dangerous. Other than my powers. Remy's voice was laden with grief and sorrow. Her eyes appeared slightly moist. Oh. Oh, thank you. So, were you working with Shogun this whole time then? And our suspicions were correct? Remy was unable to confirm whether or not he actually was moving his mouth to speak. I don't want to do anything. Remy hung her head, then gently ran her fingers through her hair that draped down before her. What? I mean, I remember some of my dreams. True. I wouldn't go that far.
すごく長い夢をよく見るよ。見ている間は何年にも感じられる。
私もそうだった。そうだった気がする。でもそれは幻。 実際の時間としては、寝ているうちのほんの2、3秒程度のものなんだって、夢って。心の歌方なの。
I don't know. When I dream, sometimes I wake up hours later. At least that's what it feels like.
だから、早く目覚めて、
Well,
出ないと。いつか、
well,
あなたは、西条匠に殺されちゃう。
I don't know about that.
それでも構わないよ。夢から覚めるわけにはいかない。この夢は完結させなくちゃ。
Okay, so... Oh, God, my eyes.
完結した夢の後には、何が残るの？
Oh, boy. Okay, so... Well, we got some extra bullshit going on there. Wee woo alert, Space Marines help. My shoulder was shaking softly. What? Oh, am I back? Okay. It was extremely gentle, and after just one shake, it stopped. What? It was because wants to kill everybody? Felt like someone was peering at my face. My consciousness was slowly returning to me. She saved me? As it did, the pain in my body returned along with it. I guess it kept saying, I want everyone to die, like she said, so... The smell in my nose. It was a smell so strong it made me want to vomit. The smell of blood. I felt a tingling around my upper lip. The taste of iron spread throughout my mouth. Slowly, I opened my eyes. Oh, she did save me. Excellent. I was in the same back alley as before. I was lying face down on the asphalt, and right in front of me was a small reddish-brown puddle of liquid, likely seeping out from one of the dumpsters. Ew. Grimacing at the smell invading my nostrils, I sat up. My whole body ached. My face in particular hurt like hell. It was hot and tingly like someone had taken a lighter and gasoline to it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right beside me, a girl I recognized was kneeling down and looking at me. She looked like she was about to cry. Like always. It was the transfer student, the girl who transferred into my class, and the girl who fell over, and I didn't help at all because I'm just that kind of person. What was her name again? I don't even. Why was the transfer student here, I wondered. And then the transfer student held out something to me. It was my wallet. Oh, thank you. Why'd she have it? Because you gave your wallet to the fucking goddamn hooligans. My head still foggy. I looked around. The 3 DQNs that attacked me earlier were now lying in a pool of blood. Are they just dead? What the hell? It was like they've been one-shot by some OP mob. The faces of all 3 were barely still intact. Oh no. Well, were they dead? None of them moved a single muscle. No. Was this the 7th NewGen case? No. This was self-defense. Who the hell would do something like this? Had I... You wish. Oh my god, why can't she, like, talk? The transfer student then stood up and beckoned to me. I was completely pale. She alternated between looking at me, who was very confused, and the 3 collapsed people. Tears welled up in the corner of her eyes. I did it. I killed all of them. Suddenly, she grabbed my hand and took off running with me in tow, staggering every once in a while. Alright. Let's just leave those corpses there. Don't have to worry about them. As soon as we reached the main street, the transfer student let go of my hand. We hadn't run very far, but she was already out of breath. That's me. I'm already done. Ooh. We both fell silent. Maybe the transfer student was just as bad at talking as I was. You think? No, that didn't matter right now. What I needed to do first was figure out what the fuck had happened. I've been harassed by those DQNs and then they picked a fight with me. Then I must have passed out, but how long had I been unconscious? Oh, god damn it. Seemingly not long, because it's still around the same time. Oh, god. I'm going positive. 5 mini minutes. God damn it. This is how she's gonna talk to us. Through the brain. There it was again. I heard it again. Thought I knew. I thought someone I knew was nearby and trying to talk to me, but I couldn't see anyone that fit that description. Damn it. Where all these auditory illusions coming from? And why were they all happening today? She's like, I'm just going positive this time. I see. It was a delusion. Of course, that includes the bloody DQNs from earlier, too. Yeah. I'm being honest here. But it has to be. It's just like Seraton, my waifu, who lives only in my head. I was like, what did you just say to me? This smile makes me uncomfortable. Seraton is still my waifu. Nothing's changed on that front. Besides, I don't have any memory of some dumb blonde character named Kozupi. She can literally just read everything you're saying in your brain. Stop it. Not even a teensy little bit? Then who's talking? No way. Could it actually be the timid transfer student standing in front of me? Wow. Who? I mean, I'd be in disbelief. Well, when I thought that, the transfer student gave a small nod. Can she just not, like, really talk properly in real life, so she, like, has to use telepathy? There's no way. What just happened had to be just a coincidence. Maybe I'm mistaken, and it just looked like she nodded at me. Oh, she's doing the pout. There's no way this is true. I'm not a telepath, not even close. What the hell is an unyu? For some strange reason, the transfer student looks sad. God damn it, now I'm getting somewhat depressed. If what you say is true, Kozupi, then prove you're the transfer student. What? What do you mean? Oh, what are your measurements? He immediately becomes weird. Yep, he is. So you can't answer then. That means you really are just a delusion. Oopie. Oh, well, then just give me your bust size. Just a general estimate is fine. I have nothing. I'm sorry. Conversation unfolding in my brain was getting too perverted. Maybe it was time to dial it back a bit. What? It's true that the new transfer student's chest is flat as a board, so that part's consistent at least. Incidentally, I'm partial to tiny breasts too. He said that in his brain, and so she can hear it. For some reason, the transfer student's face was a deep scarlet. Her already petite body got tinier and tinier as she made herself small. This is a coincidence. It was just a coincidence that the voice and her reaction were in sync. It's not proof of anything. Yeah, of course not. Well, yeah, but I have no way of knowing your actual bust size, and I'm sure you'd just ask someone to arrest me if I tried to measure you myself. Alright, then how about your birthday?
それなら簡単なのら。11月13日だよ。
Okay. Well, there's no way for me to confirm if that's true either. I just asked, I didn't even know. I just asked a question. If I could go on a whim up, what the fuck? If I could on a whim go up to some 3D girl I'd never spoken to before and ask her, hey, when's your birthday? I would have become a normie a long time ago. A long time ago. When I thought that the transfer student had been hanging her head, suddenly started fishing around in her bag. Then she pulled something out from inside it and thrust it toward me with tears in her eyes. It was a student handbook, one that was practically brand new. Upon flipping open the cover, I saw a photo of the transfer student's face, the name Orihara Kozue, as well as her date of birth. But out of the three, what really caught my attention was the date of birth written there. It was November 13th. Oh my god. Does she need any more proof?
嘘でしょ
Now you're getting it. Alright, I should check the name. The transfer student's name, according to her handbook, is Orihara Kozue. Kozupi. It all makes sense.
まさか
だから最初からそう言ってたのら。コズピーなの。
Could this somehow not be a delusion? The voice is her?
西条くん、大丈夫？
No, we're very not okay. The transfer student, her head still hanging downward, glanced up at me and pointed at my face. Her fingertip was trembling.
タラリーって出てる。
Ew. Is it blood? I touched my hand to my face. The bottom of my nose was slimy. Okay, yeah, my nose was bleeding. The transfer student offered me a tissue. I took it from her and wiped away the blood, but I was still feeling very uneasy. The transfer student is...
コズピーだよ。
Kozupi isn't moving her mouth. She isn't talking, so... Why can't I hear her voice?
心の声なのら。
Okay. I'm done. Enough with that obnoxious speaking style. I can't stand it when people do that IRL. Well, she's doing it in your head. Is that any different?
ごめん。
Maybe it's what makes her comfortable. Wait, you can hear my inner voice too?
聞こえるよ。
Dude, you haven't realized that by now?
普通に話さないのはなんで
Because...
恥ずかしいし。
Alright. Oh, I know how you feel. I'm like that too. When I said that, she scurried around me like a chipmunk, glanced at me, and then started walking toward the station by herself.
ここ離れた方がいいと思う。
Okay. Why? Confused, I followed her. Alright. As I walked, I noticed something. There was a stabbing pain in my side. Well, I did get the shit beat out of me, so the pain throbbed with every step I took, so I was forced to stop. I gripped my side and took a breath. There were people everywhere. I hated Shibuya with a burning passion. Felt like everyone I passed by was laughing at me. Felt like everyone was watching me. Felt like everyone knew my face. Don't look at me. Don't laugh at me. Haha. I want to find somewhere I can get away from it all. I need a place to rest.
ほいじゃいいところがあるなら。
Oh, cool.
ご案内します。
Yes, ma'am. The energy in Kozupi's voice is a stark contrast to the few times we saw each other at school before. And even though she doesn't talk IRL, her inner voice has energy to spare, to say the least.
ああ、今うるさい女って考えた。
I'm gonna think like a girl who's annoyed. Being able to talk to her in my head is convenient, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying. I like how I've accepted this. Like, it's not even... Come to think of it, I'm just... It even said it right there. I'm accepting this stuff pretty easily, despite the fact that I'm not sure how the hell it actually works. Is this really a genuine, real-life psychic power?
やっぱりコズピーのこと気味悪いよね。
Yeah, I mean...
こんなの普通じゃないし。
Not as creepy as us, to be honest. I'm not bothered by the fact you're not normal, it's just that I met all kind of weirdos recently. But you, Kozupi, you talk kind of funny. Sure, but you're not scary and you're not Denpa tier. If anything, I prefer this.
そう言ってもらえるとうるうるってなっちゃうのら。
As we walk, Kozupi suddenly burst into tears. Why are you startled? I hurriedly gave her back the tissue. Stop crying. You're always crying and speaking into my brain. It's freaking me out. After bowing to me way more times than she needed to, she took the tissue and wiped the tears from her eyes. Back to what I was saying earlier. It feels really weird. It also makes me feel uncomfortable when people can hear everything I'm thinking. That's my honest opinion about it.
そうだよね。ごめんなさい。
It's...
でも聞きたくなくても聞こえちゃうの。
Oh, that would suck. I wouldn't want to hear everyone's fucking thoughts. Is that so?
そうなの。
Well, either way, I know you don't want to be told that by an otaku freak like me. I was right. A disgusting guy like me really is worthless.
そんなことない。
Just as I was about to revert to my depressed state, Kozupi shouted at me with her inner voice.
ダメだよ。そんなこと言っちゃ。そんな悲しいこと。
Well, I'm a sad guy. Oh, God. Tears started to trickle down her face once again. Why are you crying? Do you feel sorry for me? If so, there's no reason to. I mean, look at me. I'm hideous. I'm so utterly delusional. I create personalities inside my head and treat them like they're real people. For example, there's Remy. Okay, let's not go there.
それって咲畑さんじゃなかった。咲畑さんのこと？
You know her?
だってクラスメートだよ。
Literally, they met.
西条くんの彼女さんなのら。
Whoa, hold up. Like hell she is.
あ、違うの？てっきりそうだとばっかり思ってた。
Like anyone would get that impression. Kozupi knows who Remy is, which means Remy's real, I guess. She isn't just a delusion. She isn't someone I made up in my head. Remy really is real.
そうか。
And she's gonna kill us. Or erase us. Is that the same thing? I'm so happy. So happy. But if that's really true, then why hasn't she contacted me a single time? Maybe the O-front incident really did make her fall out of love with me.
咲畑さん、地震があったあの日、青い顔をして早退して行っちゃったのら。それ以来、学校来てないよ。
See, that's why she was at the hospital. She was gonna go see, she's Shogun.
もしかして、家族に何か悲しいことがあったかも。
Is that so? Felt like I'd been saved. Now that I knew that Remy hadn't abandoned me, I genuinely felt like I was about to burst into tears. If it's really true, if Remy really isn't a delusion, then I actually have a reason to go to school to see Remy again. So until I see her once again, I'll try my hardest to...
気をつけてね。
Huh?
西条くんが咲畑さんと付き合ってるって思ってたから言わなかったけど咲畑さんには 気をつけて。
She's right on the money there. What do you mean?
先畑さんはよくわかんないのら。
True. Again, what do you mean? What do you mean I don't really know her? What do you mean because of the crucifixion? Or is it that even though I'm supposed to have been classmates with her since first year, all my memories of her are missing? It's true that Remy still is a bit of a mystery to me, but she saved me over and over again. Whenever I'm scared, she tells me that she'll stay by my side. She's not my enemy. I mean, maybe she's not, and she's just gonna erase us for reasons. It's fine. For some reason, Kozupi looked a bit unstable.
そんなに一度にいっぱい考えられると。コーズピーついていきにゃい。
I'm sorry, the brain I keep thinking and I can't stop. It's just, sorry. This is just pretty new to me. Whenever I have a conversation with someone, I always end up not being able to say even 20% of what I'm thinking before it ends. But when it comes to mental stuff, I guess I can't help but talk too much because I think too much. Yup. I guess that kind of applies to you too. I never would have expected you to talk so much inside your head, that is.
喋ってるっていう感覚は薄いよ。考えてるだけ。それが流れ込むだけ。相手にはビビーって、相手からはドバーって。
I don't even know what that means.
慣れてないと自分の思考と相手の思考がごちゃごちゃってなってにゃーってなるの。
In Japanese, please. I can kind of understand what you're going for, though. I think what you're trying to say is that you don't have any real subtlety or nuance of actual conversation. There's nothing like, for example, looking at the other person's expression and then deciding that you're no longer able to bring yourself to say what you wanted to say because of it. If people's thoughts just leaked out wildly, then you'd have you'd be able to not be able to read the room. The transmission isn't one way, but it isn't two-way either. It's like having to pick one arrow out of an avalanche of other arrows, all of which are flying in different directions, all while somehow ignoring all the other ones you didn't need. You have to tune out the excess noise. Here he goes. He's just fucking talking.
だから気楽だし距離感も近いけど
Oh.
傷つくことも簡単なの。
Oh dear. For a moment, Kozupi's expression clouded a bit, but not long after, a tearful smile arose on her face.
西条くんは初めてなのにすんごく上手だよ。コズピーとビビビが合うの。
Beep, beep, beep. What are these? What are you trying to say? We're on the same wavelength?
そう波長。
Well, I guess it's probably because I do something similar with Seraton pretty often. Because I'm crazy.
あ、でもあの時の西条くんは怖かったの。おぴー。
What do you mean? I'm always scared. No, back then.
今日の朝教室で。
Oh yeah. God, that reminds me. I think I had a really stupid delusion this morning. I murdered a man.
だからうひゃーって思ってつい声をかけちゃったのら。
And you said to kill them all.
本当はなるべくこの力を他の人に知られないようにしようって決めてたのに。
Wait, you don't understand. Back then I was really desperate and well, at the end of the day it was just a delusion, you know. Who am I kidding? You probably hate me. Why would, huh?
きっとそれを本当にやってたらコズピーは西条くんを殺してたよ。
Oh no. Huh? Huh, well, that's scary. She'd said such a disturbing thing so innocently. The contrast between the two extremes sent a chill down my spine. Why you do... And then that's it. And then we just went on with our life. Remaining silent while still communicating in our heads, the two of us passed through Center Guy and came out on Inokashira Dori. From an outsider's perspective, do the two of us look like a brand new couple? Walking in silence without even looking at each other? Kosuke let out a crazy loud gasp next to me. Her eyes went wide and she looked up at me. God damn it. See, this is why you gotta stop thinking. No, it was a random thought. A random thought. I didn't do anything. Sorry. I knew it. Really does suck trying to think when someone's listening to every thought you have. Whenever I try, I was talking to Kosuke. It would probably be better for my overall health if I avoided any unnecessary delusions as much as possible.
聞きたいな。
Okay.
先週の西条くんがテレビに出てた時のこと。
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
それ決めつけ。うぶー。コズピーはあの時下にいたんだよ。
Oh, she was there, just down below.
スクランブル交差点、ハチ公口の改札前、ちょうど通りかかって。
I guess so.
あの時ずっと声聞こえてたよ。西条くんの声。
From up there?
ナナミさんを助けたい、助けなきゃって聞こえたよ。
You know, did my inner voice really reach that far? Yeah, it's a surprisingly long way from the roof of O Front to the ticket gate at the station.
それだけあの時の西条くんの思いは強かったのら。
I guess. Huh. Guess Kosuke really did understand. I didn't cause such an uproar because I was planning to show off my ESP.
だから価値はなくなくないよ。なく
But in the end, it was all pointless. I put my own life before Nanami's, and at the very last second, I escaped. Kosuke stopped before the entrance to Raft, and then, while pointing at the entrance, she looked at me. This must have been where she wanted to take me. I didn't think there would be a place to rest inside Raft. Raft. It was a small, cramped spot that was filled to the brim with customers. My legs were unconsciously shaking. The cheers and shouts I'd heard that night at Scramble Crossing resounded inside my head. I don't want to go to the places with people. Once I go inside, there'll be nowhere to run.
大丈夫だよ。
It'll be fine. Oh, there's more people. In spite of how afraid I was, Kosuke marched on ahead, ignoring me. I had no choice but to follow her as fast as my legs could take me, trying my best not to look at my surroundings. Maybe there's just like a small little section that there's nobody. As we got on the escalator, Kosuke looked at me, but standing behind her. She was standing one step higher than me, putting us about at equal height.
ナナミちゃんは助かったんだよね。だったら西条くんが頑張ったおかげだよ。
Really, I don't know anymore. My power isn't what saved her. Might as well have done nothing at all.
屋上から手を伸ばしてたよね。何をしようとしたの？ビョーンって飛ぼうとしたのかな？
No, I was trying to get the sword. That just sounds like a crazy person. It was a delusional sword, and it blended right in with the scenery. I saw it from the rooftop.
理想度？
Of course she knows. A dye sword. I was told that I could reach out and grab it, but I couldn't. What?
なんで
I shouted that aloud without thinking. A couple passing by the escalator gave me an irritated look, and I frantically slapped my hand over my mouth. Kozupi, how do you know what a die sword is? Oh, I don't know. Maybe she has one and she was gonna kill us with it.
コズピーも持っているもん。
Of course. Why does everyone get one except me? As soon as we got off the escalator on the 5th floor, Kozue casually raised her right hand above her head. Oh, she's doing the thing. It was like she was trying to shade herself from the radiant glare of the sun using her hand. Oh! As if it were running along her hand, light suddenly appeared in the air. No, it wasn't light. It was closer to lines. If I were to describe it, it'd be similar to wireframe. Countless rays of light intersected in the seemingly empty space before eventually forming a shape akin to that of a snowboard. A what? And then several streaks of blue light, more fiercely brilliant than any of the wireframe lines, ran across the entirety of it. Kozupi then clasped her open hand. Firmly grasp it. What the shit? That's like a fucking... That's an interesting die sword design. That is not what I would have thought for a small person like her. Immediately following this, what had originally been wireframe, appearing as though a texture had been applied to it, transformed into a massive, solid, seemingly cold to the touch metal plank. Yeah, it is like a snowboard, except with like a boop. Oh, I'm still gonna be positive. Like, what's there to be negative about? The shape was far too different than the one Senna and Ayase possessed, and yet, even so, the aura about its body was exactly the same. It was far too sinister to be called a board. It was too unaffected to be called a sword. It possessed a pure, unadulterated savagery, one of which intermingled with destructive nobility. She held it in the air with incredible ease. It's like doesn't weigh a damn thing to her. You know how it is. She looks so happy with her sword. Where in that tiny body was she hiding that kind of strength? From the looks of it, that thing had to weigh at least 5 kilograms. Kozupi, having literally read the question in my head, turned to me and smiled bashfully.
コズピーは匠さんを守るためだけに作られたアンドロイドなのら。
What? Oh, right, delusion.
はい。
Had she just said android? What kind of anime plotline was that? Ignoring my disbelief, Kozupi clenched her hand into an adorable fist.
匠さん、もう安心なの。匠さんを狙う悪いやつはコズピーがドッカーンってするのら。
Great.
ちなみにコズピーはメイド機能もあるの。
Oh no.
だからこれから匠さんと一緒に住んで、
Oh.
身の回りのお世話もしたいのら。
Oh no. I see. That would be convenient. I was willing to accept that Kozupi was an android on top of everything else. That is, if she fulfilled one non-negotiable condition.
エッチなことをできる機能はありますか？
Why is he like this? Can't he just be a normal person? For whatever reason, I said all of that very formally. And outside. He didn't say it inside his brain. Also, Jesus Christ, what did I just ask her? While I waffled on whether or not to apologize to her, Kozupi's cheeks turned bright red, and her eyes shot downward. Oh no.
エッチなこともできるの。夜のご奉仕頑張るの。
Ah, holy fuck! One exclamation marks. A maid with combat abilities and the ability to perform nightly services? What kind of eroge was this? She came enhanced with perhaps too many optional features. Japanese technology's the best in the world. I was about to say, can we end this now? I hate it. Though really, I do this to myself, so... While I was having that idiotic delusion, Kozubi waltzed around the store like she owned the place. Her footsteps light and bouncy. She didn't even attempt to try and hide her sword from the people around her, acting as if it were the most normal thing in the world. She doesn't need to. It'd been the same with Senna. She'd also been lugging around a gigantic sword in the middle of Shibuya with no regard to the people around her. Kozubi was way too calm. Both her and Senna were really crazy. Oh, ow, the pain. And what I remembered was the smell of blood. I remembered the scene of the DQNs lying down in a pool of blood. She killed them.
あんなひどいことする人たちは死んで当然だよ。
Jesus. So they really were dead. Oh.
生きてる価値もないけど、あんなゴキ
I
ゴキ
thought
な
they
人
were
たち
dead.
は
Cockroaches?
ゴキブリ？はあ、殺したかったな。
She really is like an angel of fucking death. I could feel pretty clearly where Kozubi's mind was when she said that. There was not a trace of malice within her. She just wanted to take revenge on the bad people who wronged her. And I didn't think there was anything inherently wrong with that.
最近渋谷はますます物騒だよ。昨日も怖そうなゴキゴキ男たちに拉致されそうになっちゃったから、ドカドカドカーンってしてやったなら。
So I killed them. This girl honestly seems pretty twisted, albeit in a different way than me.
西条くん、こっちです。
Coming, Kozubi began to walk, her gigantic dye sword still in hand. She was pretty short, and her arms were very thin. She didn't look like she could even lift a feather. And yet, despite all these things, she didn't show any signs of her sword weighing her down. In fact, her steps were light and springy. I covered my eyes again, and each time the tip of the sword nearly collided with passing customers or products on display. Miraculously, though, it didn't end up hitting anything. We then arrived at a staircase. Ah, perfect. It was dimly lit, and unlike the rest of the floor, there were no signs of anyone around. No one even approached the area. I didn't expect to find such a desolate spot inside Roft. See, look, we found the spot where nobody was. A ridiculously popular store, especially since it was only a 5-minute walk from Shibuya Station.
ロフトだけじゃないのだ。
Actually.
デパートの階段って全然人がいないの。
You only moved here weeks ago, and I've been living here for almost 2 years. How do you know this, but I didn't?
コズピーは東京に来てから毎日渋谷を歩き回ってたのら。
Because she goes around and actually exists outside.
それで見つけたの。憩いの場所だよ。
Kozupi, seeming in, oh god, in a good mood, sat down on the steps. She then casually laid her dye sword down on the floor. I had a pain in my side that was becoming unbearable, so I decided to take a break as well for the time being.
それで景色とか模様とか見ると別のものが見えたりしないかな。ゾウさんとかウサギさんとかライオンさんとか。一番おーって思ったのはオオサンシャオさんに見えてた時。
What the fuck are you talking about?
理想度の話ですよ。何かの模様とか景色とか見ると動物さんとかいろんな形に見えることがあって。
I don't see I just see a sword. Oh, you mean that? Yeah, I've experienced that before. When I was looking from the perspective of the O-front rooftop, I saw something. I saw a dye sword blending into the scenery.
はい、ピンポンです。コズピーが最初に見えた時はハムポンポンが死んじゃった時。
What? Ham Pom Pom?
小学生の時飼ってたハムスター。
Oh, of course, it's a hamster because of the ham
ほ
part.
いでハムポンポンのお墓を作ってあげようって土手に行ったのら。 でもスコップ忘れてお墓作れなくてふみゃーって泣いていたらお空にこの剣の形が見えた。
Oh,
それからはいろんなところでよく見るようになったのら。
so then it goes everywhere. Okay. So it's not specifically just in one spot. How'd you actually get your hands on it? In the end, I found my sword, but I couldn't take it. No matter how hard I tried to reach for it, I couldn't grab a hold of it.
ただ願ったんだよ。
You wished? Like what? That you could have it? But if that's what you did, then I did the same. Did I, though? Stopping my thoughts in my tracks, Kozupi looked at me and shook her head faintly.
違うのら。願ったのはね、殺してやりたいっていうこと。
Oh my god, why is this why the chapter's name is Psychopath instead? It's not actually us. It's her. She just wants to kill. Her and her voice echoed clearly in my head. I hadn't misheard her. She'd said it very clearly. Kozupi wished to kill. And she'd been beaming as she said it. Yeah, she had the biggest smile. The stairs leading to the 5th floor and the 6th were very quiet, with only the faintest background music leaking in from the restaurant. Neither of us said a word. The sound of someone breathing entered my ears. Was it hers? No, it was my own. Staircase where no one would ever approach. A blind spot in the heart of Shibuya, a pocket of air. I swallowed back my saliva in an attempt to wet my increasingly dry throat.
そう願いながらミューって空見たらまた剣が見えて、でもその時まで剣とは思ってなかったよ。なんだかガキーンってしたものって思ってた。あれでブーンってやったら殺せるかなって無意識に手を伸ばしたら
Oh, Jesus Christ.
本当につかめたのら。
And then what happened? What'd you do after that? I immediately started killing.
殺そうとしたけど
God damn it.
できなかった。
There it is.
コズピーの力じゃ半殺しにするのが精一杯だったのです。
This girl is like she's broken.
壊れてないよ。プンプン。ここに剣あるもん。
The way she gazed lovingly at the sword resting beside her, I could tell that she had absolute faith in it. Something her heart told me as well. Would I have to become this broken in order to get my hands on a dai sword? Was I still not broken to begin with? I was gonna say, I'm fairly sure I'm pretty broken. Oh my god.
この剣が怖くて仕方なかった。
Oh no. Well, look, friends, we found the psychopath who just wants to kill, but like, seems like she just wants to kill like bad people. At least that's what it sounded like. So, I mean, really, is that bad? Is that good? I don't know anymore. Let's just keep going.